Welcome guys, thank you so much for joining in. So today in this video, I'm going to show you some very important price structure to look for if this price of Bitcoin is going to show some sort of a shakeout or a breakout type of scenario, because in this video I'm going to show you exactly what could be unfolding as a possible outcome of this price movement here. And also guys, I would really appreciate if you could take 2 seconds of your time and smash the like button, and for those individuals watching this video for the first time, definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell. So now if we look at this price structure of Bitcoin USD starting in a daily time frame, just like yesterday, we are going to start also looking at this ascending channel and this Fibonacci extension level, because if you monitor this price movement here, you can see guys, this ascending channel is actually acting as a very strong resistance line. The price is having a very difficulty to break out of this. And why? Because we have already said this Fibonacci extension level and also this upper line of this ascending triangle is acting as a very strong resistance. And not only that, if you have added this CPR line, you can also see these green dots here, right? This is the monthly R2 line, and this monthly R2 line is also exactly at this resistance area. So you can see now we have 3 resistance. One here is this upper line of this ascending channel, the second one is this Fibonacci extension level, and now again this monthly R2 line of 48,600 to 48,700 going to be a very strong resistance. And if you look at this only using the CPR, you can see the price here is also finding rejection exactly after reaching the monthly R2 line. That's why I always say, you guys, this CPR indicator is a leading indicator. It provides us information beforehand. That's why this is one of my favorite indicator. And if you are unaware how to use this indicator in a chart properly, then the link regarding the video of CPR must be popping up right now, so feel free to check it out. So now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hide this CPR again, because we know there are going to be some resistance before we continue in upper direction. But as I've already said you, right, this upper target is still on play, which is going to be around 53,400 to 53,500 price level. And any sort of a price pullback here, right, this 0.618 is our strongest support for now, which is going to be around 44,000 price level. And yesterday, if you remember properly, we talked about this price movement here. I said to you guys, hey, this here could be playing out as an ascending triangle, and also be prepared for this shakeout type of scenario before price starts moving in an upper direction, right? And this is what we also witnessed. But if you say, hey, Anoop, this is not a ascending triangle, this looks like more like an rising wedge. Is there any possibility to look at this price structure in this manner? Absolutely yes, because if you monitor this price movement now, let me switch this into 4-hour time frame, okay? Because if you look at this price structure here in a 4-hour time frame, you can see guys, this upper line here, which we just talked about, this ascending channel, is acting as a very strong resistance line. But if you monitor this price movement in a 4-hour time frame, you can see, look at this price structure here. This here is an ascending channel again. Inside this bigger ascending channel, we also have smaller ascending channel of pairing, and we can see exactly guys, this line here, the upper line acted as a strong resistance. But you can also see that this same line, which previously acted as resistance, acted as a very strong support here, right? Support here. So now you can see that this upper line is playing out as well. So we want to know if this trend is going to continue. Then you can see the lower line here is acting as a very strong support, and the upper line, which we just talked in a daily time frame, the upper line, which is acting as a very strong resistance. So now if you look at this here, you can see a very nice rising wedge type of scenario unfolding. So that's why we knew the lower line here, what we were actually testing, were a very strong support line, because not just only because of this ascending triangle, but also because of this rising wedge scenario that could be playing out. So that's why this rising wedge scenario, now let's delete both of these lines, yeah, you can see. So this rising wedge scenario is actually still in play. So we will also be looking at this scenario time and again, because for now we will be focusing on this line here around this 44,000, which I just showed you with the Fibonacci extension level, is going to be our downward target, right? If this is going to fail, because if this is also going to be a pullback type of scenario, I'm still going to look for more likely a move in this manner for price action of Bitcoin, because any sort of a pullback in this bull market is going to be a buying opportunity and not a selling opportunity, guys. You have to understand that. And if you also look at this Wyckoff's reaction phase again, if you look at the price structure here, guys, now this thing looks pretty interesting, because you just need to follow this rising trend line to pinpoint some area of support in case any sort of a pullback is going to appear. Because I just showed you, we are going to look this as a rising wedge, the rising wedge type of scenario. Any sort of a pullback, we know this trend line is going to again act as a support and a move here in this manner. And in case this is going to show any sort of a fake out, because 44,000 to the downside is going to be a very, very strong support line. And if this is not going to play out as an rising wedge, if this was a, like, let's say this was more like a ascending triangle type of scenario, doesn't matter, any sort of a price pullback, you know, this rising trend line here is going to be a support line. So I'm actually expecting any sort of a pullback will be again a buying opportunity and not a selling opportunity, right? Because you can see this trend here to the downside is actually showing us a possible trend direction for Bitcoin in the coming days. So these are some of the simple price structure that could be playing out right now looking at the price action of Bitcoin. So now let's also have a quick look at Ethereum price action. And before I switch into Ether chart, I just want to give you a better explanation on this rising wedge type of scenario here, okay? So that it's easy for you guys to understand. So now if we look at this in an hourly time frame, I just showed you this rising wedge scenario, because if you monitor the price movement inside this rising wedge, you will see, guys, this price structure here, whenever we were able to break out of this trend line here, which previously acted as a resistance, price actually got a really nice move here in an upward direction, right? You can see when we broke out of this trend line here, we had a really nice move here towards the upper line of this rising wedge. So here you can see another similar price movement, broke out of it and then again started heading in upper direction. So now what we can do is we can also look at this in a pretty similar way. I mean, if we are able to also break out of this trend line here, right, then we could also see again an impulsive move inside this rising wedge in an hourly time frame as well. So breaking out of this upper line is definitely going to be a very, very bullish scenario, because I just showed you, doesn't matter whichever scenario looks like, breaking the upper line here is going to prove very, very bullish for Bitcoin, because this is going to leave us completely open towards our next target of 53,400 to 53,500 price level. So now let's switch into Ethereum price action. And also Phemex right now is giving away a $680 bonus to those individuals who sign up using my ref link down below, and it is only for limited time period. We have around 8 days left until to claim this bonus, guys. So this opportunity is going to be only for the short time period, so feel free to grab it. So now if we look at this price structure of ETHERUSD starting in a daily time frame, what we can do is we can use this Fibonacci extension level, because we know right now the price of Ether is actually respecting this Fibonacci extension level pretty well. Exactly after reaching this 100% Fibonacci extension level, we found a very strong support here. And also not only that, we can also see any sort of a bigger pullback, 1540, 1550 should also be taken into consideration, because this line here, lower line, must not be forgotten. But right now, if you look at this just by using this rising channel or so-called ascending channel, you can clearly see, guys, this upper line here is again acting as a very, very strong support, which previously acted as a resistance. You can see that here, right? So now we know the trend here is still in an uptrend, because right now, doesn't matter how you look at this, the scenario is still pretty bullish for me. Because let's say if you see this price movement and say, hey Anoop, this could also be a rising wedge type of scenario, and rising wedge could be a bearish scenario, but I'm still expecting, even if we are going to see any sort of a fake out around this 1520 price level, I'm still looking for this upper target area to play out. So the upper target of 2200 is still on play. And also what we can do is we can also switch this time frame into 4-hour time frame and look what kind of scenario could be playing out. So now in a 4-hour time frame, what I'm actually going to do, guys, is I'm going to add this very, very simple ascending channel to pinpoint some area of support and resistance for Ether right now. Because if you monitor this price movement using this ascending channel in a 4-hour time frame, the price here tends to be following this channel very well. You can see upper line acted as a very, very strong resistance, right? And also this lower line acted as a very, very strong support. So now we know the price of Ether is following this ascending channel in a 4-hour time frame. So we want to know what could be next possible price movement around this price area, because if you look at the price structure using this simple trend line area inside this ascending channel, you will see that this trend line here acted as a resistance. Price was unable to find proper support. We had a pullback. So now you can see breaking this trend line led to a pullback around the lower end area. But once we were able to find support around this trend line area, we had a move in an upper direction. Just like here, for example, now what I'm actually trying to do is I'm going to add this another trend line also exactly here, because we know now, just like with this example, once we were not able to find support at this trend line, we've got a pullback around the lower line of this ascending channel. Here you can see we went to the upside, we were unable to find support, then we came to test the lower line area, just like with this example here. So now for us, a very strong resistance is going to be around this 1820 to 1830 price level. So if we are going to break out of it, then there is an expectation of price making a new all-time high for Ether. But any sort of rejection, you can see the lower line is still going to be acting as a support, and then it doesn't matter of time until price of Ether starts above 2000 price level. And this is what I see right now looking at the price action of Ether and Bitcoin. So guys, this is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this video was helpful enough, and if that's the case, then hit the like button, and also if you're watching this for the first time, definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye guys.